Revelation 879. From the 22nd of April 1939. Wrestling of the soul. Prayer. Free will. Matter. Unspeakable difficulties the soul has to overcome before it has become master of all matter. Because it is in the fight with this until it consciously strives for help, and again it will do the latter only then when it has overcome the desire for earthly good, therefore has as it were already declared war on matter. But in order to be able to overcome, it needs the support of spirit beings willing to help, which it makes serviceable for itself through prayer. But it still has to struggle very much and must be restlessly active itself, because only through own work the soul can mature, and the support of the spiritual friends consists only in the fact that the necessary strength is transmitted to the struggling soul, but which it must now utilize itself in realization of its earth task. Thus a complete transformation is undoubtedly in every human being's power, if only once the will has decided to it. Sometimes people believe that they cannot do anything themselves and only always have to carry out the will of God, and it is to be pointed out again that man in spiritual relationship is not subject to any compulsion by the divine Creator, that rather all freedom of will is left to him where it concerns his soul's salvation. His thinking will be directed by the spiritual side to spiritual problems, it will become enlightenment for him in many questions, however his will be able to decide completely freely whether and to what extent the transmitted thoughts are taken up and heeded. And likewise man is free to get the necessary strength through prayer to meet the most difficult demands. Without doubt the human soul has to fulfill a great task which consists of taking care of its transformation so that it lifts itself up out of the darkness of the spirit, so that it redeems itself from the fetters of matter, and that through love. It has to be constantly active to form itself. It has to reject everything ignoble from itself, it has to strive for perfection and always be mindful that it only has a short time at its disposal which should serve its transformation. It must also know that it itself has the greatest disadvantage if the time on earth has not brought it maturity, and therefore it must strive for only one thing, to be constantly active. To wrestle constantly and to detach itself from everything that appears desirable to it, in order to finally defeat matter and thereby to free itself from every fetter which prevents it from soaring into bright spheres. Amen.